Wow, there's certainly a lot of snow here. My precious buddies, well, today we've got an adventure. An adventure I've wanted to do for a long time. A few years ago, I heard about an old rundown cabin. No one has entered it, only seen it from a distance. Today, we're trying to reach that cabin. There's a lot of snow in the forest in some places and not much in others. We're going around the stream today, walking about 18 kilometers total. Around 8 or 9 kilometers each way. I usually give an estimate since I don't know for sure. Navigation is unreliable, so I'm guessing. This is important, friends. Today we're going to try to find a cabin and buy the campfire. Today we'll have a real campfire. Some bacon with tea, man, with spruce. And today I want to tell you a story. A story that happened to me in my life. I always share with you, you know that. That's just how I am. I'm an open person. It's a cool story. It's not a simple one. It's a story that's kind of complicated. And it's a story that gives rise to new topics for videos, new interests, and new entertainment, so to speak. So don't skip ahead right now. Watch until lunchtime. I don't know if lunch will be after the hut or before. If I find it easily, we'll have lunch right there and film a video. If it takes me a long time to get there, I don't know how it'll turn out, then we'll just talk. It's a great story. Watch it. It'll be awesome. I'm doing this especially for you, so that you, sitting at home on your comfy couch, sipping your coffee or tea, can enjoy it. The logging truck went really far. I made it here today, if only you knew. The forest is awesome, but it's warm, -10. Alright, let's go. Let's check it out. Please, don't switch channels. Keep watching. Keep looking. I'm doing my best for you. Doing my best for everyone. Fun is here. Let's go. I'm worried. Be careful. You see, I have these universal bindings for big boots, for big shoes. That's why the fixation isn't very precise. But on the other hand, you can take them off easily. Let's go. Right away, we can see little holes. Holes made by some animals, birds. Watch the video, it's going to be informative. I'll be explaining and showing things. Someone used to live here. This is probably the entrance, and that's the exit. Look, if we dig here, we'll probably find some droppings. These appear to be bird droppings, though I'm not certain. Most likely, friends, we had hazel grouse here. Yes, friends, like I said, in the swamp, see how it collapses, barely holding up. That's because various natural factors, weather conditions, all affect it here, and the snow forms differently. So look, I've come out onto this kind of swamp. It's a big swamp that will lead us to a lake, which in turn will take us to the southern shore, and on the southern shore we'll be looking for a cabin together. This is really interesting for me. I hope my mood will rub off on you, and together we'll have a great time. Alright, let's go. A poorly working phone and global positioning system are showing us that we need to get to that land over there. then move along the swamp like this, and then cross the land and finally reach the lake itself. I think today I'll walk about 9 kilometers one way. Don't think that's a lot, because look at the pace. The skiing pace is really great. The only thing is, my heel's coming off the ski. When I took the skis out of the car, I looked and was a bit shocked. Maybe today we'll meet. These areas aren't too wild since there's a big lake, and fishermen might be there. If we see any, we'll ask about the hut and more. Let's go. Honestly, I feel like I'm flying. Also, friends, about my talking. Honestly, I would release short videos. They get more views and have a bigger impact. You know, like a video where I found a cabin, a 10-minute video. You come, you find it, and that's it. But where's the story? The story. Over there in the distance, we see a bare mountain. It looks like a recent clear cut. But honestly, I don't know anything about that, so I can't say. Alright, let's move on. Oh, that's so cool. It's trying, just like I'm trying to find a taiga hut, the sun is trying to come out. This is a small island, probably about 300 by 200. Here, and this is already the mainland. And now we're going to walk along the island, along the mainland, then we'll go deeper into the mainland, find all sorts of interesting things in the forest, and just enjoy ourselves. By the way, take a look at what the ski trail looks like. Like this. Man, what interesting weather. The weather is interesting. Friends, I'm traveling through the taiga and swamp and found something interesting. Babalina, a subscriber of my channel, asked me to show trees, asked for more. To treat what I see with more care and to show it to people as well. Because I go to the taiga very often, into the forest, and I might miss all sorts of cool things because I see them often, but people don't see them often. Look at this chrysalis, it was burning and everything. Look at this tree. It's sturdy and could be used as decoration. Here. Again, taking trees is illegal. If it falls someday, fine, but for now it's sturdy. Well, of course, not really, but still. Cool. That's how it is. Babalina, look. Babalina, damn. Babalina, look. Babalina, look. Alright, let's cross the island. And this, friends, is a really awesome tree. This is a sukarik. Let me tell you about it. Well, someone asks me what chimdim is, what vivorotin is, what porkaliszcze is, and what sukarik and suharisti are. So look, a stick, this kind of tree, it seems to have no hollows. You come to it, inspect it, you come and inspect it. If it's good, you can get 2 sticks from it. 2 sticks, each 4 meters long, that's it. And this thing is very expensive. Well, not very expensive, damn, not very expensive, but you can make good money. Per month, about, well, now you'll say I'm lying, but it's just, according to rumors, that's how I know all this. About 300,000 to 400,000 rubles a month for 2 people with a snowmobile, or with an all-terrain vehicle in the summer, or with a snowmobile in the winter, you can make with this kind of thing. Again, a lot of people are doing this, doing it legally, getting permits for plots. Well, those who have, what's it called? Well, basically, they do everything by the law, but it's hard work, like berry picking, roughly speaking. Well, just a few minutes, just a few meters left until that mainland, that one. I can go across the swamp. Over there in the distance, 3 kilometers away, we already have the lake bay. There are streams flowing in there. But that's boring for me. Walking across the swamp like that, it's boring. That's why we'll go through the forest. It's hard to walk through the forest these days, but it's interesting, Lal. We'll see what this pine forest lives by. We'll see what this forest lives by. Let's enjoy it. I carry my hunting weapon behind my back. There's no need to always walk at the ready. Your arms will get tired and it's unnecessary. We just walk, enjoy ourselves, have fun, learn, train, and gain valuable experience. Alright, let's go. Now look, friends, this happened recently. This was done by the dry wood collectors. See, it's been sawed off, sawed off, sawed off. And here it's about 4.5 meters of wood. They left this here. Seriously, it's a valuable log, but they just left it. Maybe they'll come back later. Here it was standing. They knocked it down, cut off the ends, sawed it, and now it's lying here. This is our log. It's probably about 29, something like that. And here, friends, is such an interesting place. This is a swampy island, and there's an island and a little swamp between them. It's right in the middle of the island, and there's a ton of snow here. Everything is hanging so beautifully on the trees. It feels like I'm somewhere else right now, and the sky is so bluish. Friends, I checked the navigation and realized I missed by 1 kilometer and went too far, running into mountains and rocks. So now I'm gonna walk along this stream, like I said before, along these rocks. Wow, look at this. It's so dangerous here, so I'll walk along them. The main thing is not to break my skis. My grandfather once, coming back from fishing, and they didn't walk like we do now. They used to walk 30, 28, 25, 30 kilometers. And he, coming back from fishing, broke his ski and it took him a day and a half to get home. Look, there are stones scattered around. See that? I don't see this very often. Well, probably one of the few times I did it wrong. I should have gone that way. Well, that's life. That's all experience. Look at this stone. Damn, I'll even show you like this. Look at this stone. There, someone could be living under it. Who's there? Well, my friends, that's a bad story. Oh, it's finally loaded. The maps disappeared and it was barely loading. But we would at least roughly... I know where we are. Look, my advice to you, if you walk in the forest like I do, and if you don't know how to use a compass like me, study the maps very well before your trip. Really study where the swamps are, where the streams are, just like I have now. I had a similar experience. My phone broke and I lacked experience then. I had already studied the map, so I found the river on it, went directly there and walked along it. That was interesting, an interesting experience. So here's my advice to you. Maybe it will save someone and maybe it will help someone. Look, there's another thing like this. Sometimes trees are like this from bottom to top. They're called kukla, and you can sell them for a lot of money. It's like finding gold. You understand? Well, it's just a comparison, but still. I don't know, maybe they're called something else. I've heard they're called bilimbeki or something like that anyway. But the fact remains, they're called kukla, and people pay good money for them if you bring them in and sell them. This is the root of the tree. It stood like this, then fell, pulling the root out. Underneath are sand and small stones. Birds come here to clean off parasites. In summer, you'll see small pits, and they eat little stones to aid digestion. As usual, I visited the forest after snowfall. That's why I can't really assess the informational value. That's it. Well, a hare was running around somewhere. A fox or a marten, I saw their tracks. I saw hazel grouse holes. That's all for now. Here they are, the little dry trees standing. Oh wow, look at this stick, how nice it is. Look at this little stick. Right now, the woodpeckers are probably licking their beaks, really licking their beaks. Look, it's about 12 meters long, so you can get 2 6-meter pieces from it. Well, not exactly 6, but 2 5-meter pieces easily. But that one over there is already rotten, and this one here is just awesome. It probably rings. Let's see. Oh wow, this one is just awesome. Well, friends, I'm checking the navigator and it just wasn't working for about 20 minutes, half an hour. And I ended up in some strange places. Basically, I have to go back now. Well, as they say, for a mad dog, 7 miles is nothing. So basically, the navigator let me down again. It wouldn't even turn on. But I think I'll just go roughly in the right direction. But you see, in the taiga, the routes are laid out in such a way that, well, I mean, how can you even get through that? You can just wander around and waste precious time. I won't get lost here, that's for sure. Well, like, absolutely. I mean, it's just silly to get lost in places like this, but the convenience, the time, and the comfort of the walk really suffer. Look, there's no snow at all. Why? Because of this. The sky is covered so tightly like this. Broken trees, and over there we have a huge uprooted one. Let's go. Look, friends, do you see the tree? And this is called witch's hair, or darn, friends, write in the comments what this thing is called. I forgot. Witch's hair, or well, some kind of pharmaceutical name. There, see what it's like. This only grows in environmentally clean places. So here you go. See all the trees. Friends, I went far, made an unreal detour, and this is the kind of white light we have here. Oh. But where's the lake? I can't. Here's the navigator. A little forestry, just an ordinary one. I got it. Yes, friends, this is our Taiga stream. I could just walk right across like this, but I went around like this. The Taiga twisted me around, that little trick of the Taiga. It spun me. But it's okay, we'll find the lake somewhere soon. But for now, I don't see it. Whoa, friends, look at the tree. A blaze? Maybe it's a trail marker someone used to walk. You might ask, how do I know this? Because I've made the same kind of marks myself. I have my favorite spot where I walk along similar blazes. So, I'm turning and twisting. I don't get it. Basically, I'm going somewhere, but where? There's no end in sight. That's what happens when you mistakenly think you can get through everything just by looking at the map. But in reality, you're stumbling around like a chicken, just scratching at the ground. All right, I can already smell some luck around here. We're about to find the right way. Well, my friends, we did it. We made it to the lake. Look, I'll show you from my point of view now. Honestly, I'm getting tired of walking. It's just because we lost time. Now we're going this way and over there. Walking by the lake will be easy, and the lake is beautiful. And you know, I immediately get this urge, this unreal desire to go fishing, to fish. Well, my friends, this is what it all looks like. This is the lake, a beautiful, awesome lake, and we have to go along the shore, far, far away, somewhere on the islands. Maybe there are some cabins. We'll take a look from afar. Let's go. So, my friends, we're making our way to a Taiga cabin that I spotted from a satellite. Look, I don't know exactly where it is. I just saw it, but my map stopped working in the cold. Look, there are notches made by a Kimdim worker. 1, notches made by a Kimdim worker. 2, on the pine tree. These are the so-called scars. Workers from the chemical forestry enterprises made them and collected resin. Sap for the chemical forestry enterprises of Russia, Karelia. Let's move on. So I'll make a spot here now. We'll sit here and our campfire will be here. I want a big campfire, but I don't know if there will be time for that. Friends, get ready. Now, I'm going to tell a story. I'll tell you about my life story, about an interesting incident from my life. All right, I won't show you the details anymore. Now I'll light a fire here and we'll get started. Can you imagine? I don't have any matches. That's really my mistake. Really such a big one. I always tell all of you, take matches, but I have a lighter, so we'll have to embarrass ourselves. For me, using a lighter is honestly embarrassing. All right, let's light it up. Look, you just take it, tear it off right here without moving away, and then just like this, boom. And these roots, they burn like crazy. Oh, I like this. Making different kinds of fires in different ways. That's really cool, guys. Guys, I carry my pot in this thing. My wife made it for me. My pot has seen a lot. Do you at least have a mug? Yes, I have a mug. This is my mug. Someone asked me about this mug. I'll say right away, well, it's some kind of cheap brand. I don't know, it's just a mug. 300 milliliters. A little bit of sugar. A spoon, stolen from my mother-in-law, by the way. And the pot itself. Inside the pot, friends, is a surprise. Tea in this packaging. Can anyone identify it? Let me know in the comments. Bread. Here's some fresh lard. Smell it, it's good. Here, by the way, for those who are interested, Karelians call bread laipta. 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 Just like that. If you watch Feofan, at least you'll learn something new. By the way, friends, a lot of people ask me, you know, in a sarcastic way, how many times does your hat fall off? Yes, it falls off sometimes, but still, it's comfortable for me like this. It's comfortable for me like this. That's the Feofanov style, the style of carelessness. This is my table. Now I'll cut it right in front of you. It probably looks tasty, friends. I don't know. Now I'll cut some salo. Today we're having fried salo. I haven't tried it in a long time. Oh, I haven't tried it. Haven't eaten it. The bread is going to freeze now. I'll cut the bread into pieces just like this. I'm not used to the city. Let's cut it now. It's burning well. Now we'll cut a branch. And 1 and 2. And 3. All right, let's go. That's how it is for now. Well, that's the still life we've got. With cloudberries. Oops, spruce, actually that's pine. I lied. Well, my friends, a campfire, taiga tea, some salo, bread, just the way we like it. The story of my life turned out this way. This particular one, which I want to tell you about now. And as you listen to the story, I ask you not to jump to conclusions, watch until the end, and understand the essence. I have, as you know, people and viewers all over the world, all over the country. Some call them subscribers. People leave comments under my videos. This was about a month ago. They leave comments under the videos, send me a link and say, you absolutely have to watch this. I talked to these people, I know they're Karelians from Karelia. So I opened the link and saw that it was a trailer for some movie. It's about history, a historical film. I watched the trailer and I liked it. Well, I love history. I don't really know it that well, like everyone in my generation, but I like to study it and so on. And some historical moments are also clear to me. I watched it. After I watched the trailer, it redirected me to the trailer on Telegram. Well, it's more convenient for me on YouTube, so I watched it on YouTube. I watched the trailer on YouTube, I don't remember, on some channel. After the trailer, those movies that the trailer was about showed up in the recommendations. There are 3 movies, each about 10 minutes long. I watched those movies. The movies aren't long, they're cool and dynamic. I really liked it. I liked the approach in the filming. Well, I watched it. While watching the movie, suddenly something happens that Well, it's like from the future. Basically, it's a historical movie going on. And then suddenly Varvara's pneumatic rifle. I'm like, wait, what is that? They gave it to Peter in the movie as a gift. I'm thinking, what's going on? But this is a historical movie. How is that possible? And then I realize how and why it was done, and I start watching with even more interest. The movie ends, and the second episode begins. Our second episode is already 800, early 1800s. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's the same there, with an interesting story and a comedic undertone. So, I'm watching it. Mitrofen was so funny there. Well, overall, such interesting emotions. Be sure to watch the movies. I'll leave a link in the description to the trailer and the movies. I want you to have the same interesting emotions as I did. I'm amazed watching the third episode. At first, I skipped around while watching, but after going back and rewatching, I noticed many references and hidden subtext. A person will understand. The one who fully dives into watching movies will get it. In the second movie, there's a Phoenix pneumatic rifle. I was like, what? Phoenix is an Edgan company. Varvara is also an Edgan company. I was like, well, it was like an advertisement, but what a presentation, what a level, you know? I was stunned and surprised. Well, thinking about advertising is the last thing on your mind here, you know? Alright, I'm watching a movie about Pavel. He has a Leshy 2 rifle. He's using it there. It's interesting. I won't spoil it. See for yourselves. And the third movie is about the time period when Rasputin was up to his shady business. And there they show the Phoenix rifle. There are also political undertones and so on. Well, overall, it's interesting. It's interesting to watch. There are some interesting approaches and the directing is good and so on. Later, I watched a documentary about the film and realized how difficult it was to make these 3 episodes, these 3 films. And moreover, I also found out and realized for myself that, well, maybe it's not true, that there will be a continuation in other time periods. And if they use the same approach, then I'm looking forward to them like, damn, Game of Thrones. Well, that's just my personal opinion. Alright, let's try some tea. Let's have some tea. We've brewed it all. Alright, look, here's the story. The story is just the beginning. The way I watch these movies... When I watched the movies, I was supposed to leave at that time, and I did. When I came back a couple of days later, the guys texted me. So did you watch them? I replied, yeah, I watched them. I'm shocked. I like them. Well... not that I'm shocked, but I really like them. And how all of this is done. After all, I'm a YouTube channel creator myself, and I have channels on other platforms, so I understand how all of this works, how it all operates, how it all actually happens. And the guys text me, do you know who made this? I reply, I don't know. Enjoy your meal, friends. Oh, Nephilia. And they start telling me that this was made in Karelia. I say, no way, it's just... Look, seriously, this was made in Karelia, and it was made by the company Edgan, which produces air rifles. I say, no way. Well, we started talking. They say, moreover, they're located in Segeza. I say, no way. I mean, Segeza is a small town similar to the one where I work. And as you know, I live in a village. And I say, no way, it can't be that. It's not even about... I'm not even talking about the rifles right now. I'm talking about how all of this was filmed, about how all of this was made. And well, I was shocked. And when I was told about it, it got into my head. I went online and started researching. What kind of company do we have here? We don't have many companies, honestly. Which ones are here? Maybe 2 or 3 in Karelia, right? And I started researching and found it, yes, the production of pneumatic rifles. They are located in the city of Segezha. I had an idea. I've always wanted to visit a production facility. I called some people here in Karelia, well, heads of production, directors, or whatever you call them, heads of companies. I said I want to come visit you. Completely free, just to showcase what we offer. Everyone turned me down. There are big stores, large ones, and so on. Well, alright. Friends, after watching and searching online, I found the company's YouTube channel, which has 30,000 viewers. So I already understood. Aha, this is something powerful. They make these kinds of commercials. They have such media like a media service, so to speak. So I started watching the channel. The channel is run by the head of the company. And he's close to me in spirit. His name is Edward. He's close to me in spirit, also respects the forest, nature, understands what kind of pleasure you can get from it. And riding this wave of positivity and admiration, I just typed into the internet, Segeja City, Edgan. And a factory showed up for me. I called. A girl answered. She connected me. I made arrangements, said, well, I'm not really a shy person. So I told Edward, I said, can I come? Who will meet me? Well, can I come? They said, come to the factory if you have a lot of questions. So they're always open. I agreed, but asked who would meet me. Edward, the company's head, said he'd meet me himself. I was just amazed that the head of the company himself would spend time on me. Well, I thought something interesting is happening. I picked a time, came over, but as it turned out, Edward, the head of the company, is constantly traveling, handling some business. Well, you understand, a person of that level? They quickly, briefly showed me the production. I was stunned, amazed, because the production there is on such a high level. But do you understand why I'm surprised by this? It would be one thing if this was somewhere in Europe or in Moscow, where there's civilization. But this is in our sparsely populated regions and so on. That's the kind of production it is. I'll talk more about this later. They took me to the shooting range without saying a word. They let me shoot with different types. They have different types of air rifles. There's the Phoenix, Leshy 2 and others as well. I shot. Anyway, I was shocked. It seemed to me that the head of the company saw the fire in my eyes and said, I don't have time for all this right now. I'm leaving, but I can let you use my rifle. He has his own Leshy 2 rifle customized. I was shocked. My eyes said it all. I went there without cameras, just to talk, since it was spontaneous. And basically, when they gave me a rifle, gave me the kit, the charging tanks, gave me pellets, and all of that cost, well, basically, all of that cost money. I'm just a person, you know. They also checked out my channel, saw that I'm also an open, kind, friendly guy from Karelia. So, basically, I went and got that rifle, went right away, then came home happy with what I saw. People are happy working there, conditions are good, and there's even a job waiting list. I came, started using that rifle, shooting at cans, basically I did all sorts of things, and I was just left with very, very, very good, positive impressions. But you see how all of this is communicated here. It's just that people, subscribers, viewers wrote to me and told me about it. I watched the movie, watched the trailer, watched the movie, watched the making of, and I recommend it to you too, friends. It's really cool and really great. I'm very happy and proud that there are such powerful companies in our regions, you know? I mean, it's not really that big, but everything there is set up so well. I had a thought, I'm going to be bold. But I think that the management of Edgan Company, they're open and they'll let me come visit them. I'll film everything really thoroughly. I'll look into every corner of the production, ask everything, all your questions. That's my story. And you see, what's my point? Just watch. I'm the creator of a channel on YouTube and on various platforms. And, well, the fact that I'm not shy about talking to people, that I'm not shy about asking questions, that I'm not shy about learning new and interesting things, that's really cool. It turns out really well. And I advise you too. Don't be shy, don't hold back. Open yourself up to new things. A new channel topic is coming. Pneumatic rifles, focusing on their development and related subjects. In short, I will. I might even buy a rifle someday since I'm so impressed. There might even be a duel with a small caliber rifle if it works out. You'll understand why and how. Well, in short, it's awesome. So, friends, that's the story we ended up with. Now we have to head to the cabin. Maybe I dragged it out, but the emotions. I told my family and friends after returning. Well, you know, maybe you won't understand, but this is Segeja. These are our Karelian towns. Those small ones that are already fading away. Even if you dislike my words, this is just my opinion. And still, there is domestic production. There are people who are passionate about their ideas, like me. I'm making videos for you, I'm passionate about my idea. My eyes are literally burning with excitement to show you well, in short. And the person there is the same. It seems like Edward and I are on the same wavelength. Because we both really want to show what we can do, what we have in Karelia, and what's going on here. Alright then friends, let's go. To new discoveries, to adventures, to the moment when we step out of our comfort zone, take a step into the unknown and get some cool experiences from it. Well friends, it's time to call it a day. Let's keep moving. There's about 2.5 kilometers left to the cabin. Let's go. The sun keeps rising and setting. Anyway, let's keep moving. Friends, you can't see. You scared off the Cape Achille. I saw him land on a tree, but I didn't see which one. I mean, I saw it, but... I saw it, but it's... I don't take a camera with me. And I don't show how I hunt either. He can't hear the reloading because of the strong wind. Let's go and turn on the collimator. Guys, I missed. It was sitting behind the branches. I got nervous and my hands were cold. Anyway, I missed. I should have put the camera on my head. Yeah, you know, so I said, oh, I still don't film when I shoot game because it gets blocked everywhere. And not everyone likes to see that. That's how it went. I fired a number 1 shell first, then a number 3. Maybe we'll see tracks now. I was walking here and I think it landed around here and over there. Can you see it? I don't know how to show it. So basically, right here we have a tall... Where am I pointing now? There's a tall tree on the left, and if you look straight ahead, there's a smaller tree. And to the right of it, that's where he was sitting. I was aiming at him for a while. It's about 70 meters, plus there are branches in the way. Anyway, I missed. Feofan's nickname is actually Missed. Oh man, just kidding of course. But only those who don't shoot never miss. So what about you guys? Most likely, if I'm not mistaken, there's the island I need to get to from the north side, and there will be a hut waiting for me there. But I haven't seen the outlines on the map, so I can't say for sure. I'm getting closer, I don't see the hut yet, but the island itself is kind of open and easy to see. Well, I mean, it's sparse. Well, it's kind of covered on top, yeah, but I can pretty much see right through it. Of course, there's something in the middle that looks like a roof. But it's unclear. It's unclear, friends. Nothing is clear. And look at the forest along the shores. This is really a Taiga lake. Awesome. Wow. Mark this moment, friends. See over there? Just like it happens in real life. There's a camper Kaylee sitting there, and over there is the beloved cabin. We're about to see it. Check it out. Take a look. Enjoy it. Is it recording at least? Those birch trees definitely protect from the wind in the summer. This is the back part with the window. Oh, it's obviously ancient. Friends. Now we'll take a closer look at it. Look, a small fir tree to decorate for New Year's. Friends, do you like it? More is coming soon. A lot of time will now be devoted to the hut and exploring it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 logs. 7 logs, a small window. I think the hut is about 50 years old, maybe even older. Let's take a look. Here's the ore. I'll show it closer later. Let's do this for now. This is our ore. It's on moss and nearly falling apart. I see. Oh, what a jar. An 8. Look, friends, I think someone was riding a motor sled here. They probably even spent the night. Here's the hut. Notice the chains hanging on the left side of the logs. Well, that's just how it is. It's happened before, you know. So it's interesting, you see? As they say, friends, hello hut, let's walk around. By the way, connoisseurs have been here, you see, real beer connoisseurs. Lowenbrau, 8%, Baltica, 9%, that's a light beer, almost non-alcoholic. Here are the enthusiasts. Look, this is a chopped table, interesting. The hut itself. The door is so small, someone has been in here. Well, I don't know, maybe they spent the night. There's something up there. Oh, that's not a canister, that's a smoker. They use it as a smoker. So that's what it is. A little hut. There are things I dislike over there, but they're necessary. They use drying racks for nets. Well, interesting. The roof is already falling apart, coming off. Some parts are covered with metal. Take a look from above like this. Well, friends, let's take a look. I'll grab a flashlight. It looks better from this side. Well, let's open this fascinating Taiga cabin. Hello, cabin. Look at the door right away, see? Oh. What's this? The door won't open. Only like this. Let's just take a look. This is terrible. I want to spend the night here. I really want to spend the night here. There's no floor and there's practically no stove. It's not 50. It's not 50 years old. It's millions of years old. Damn. There's firewood, which is most important. Good, there's firewood. Let's look up. There are holes and gaps like this. Here's the hut. You see, people come and spend the night. It's even worse than my grandpa's hut. Damn. Oh, a shovel. Friends, here, see how things are. The ceiling's held up so it won't fall. Let's take a look at the stove. Honestly, it's the first time I've seen something like this. The first time. Let's see. The stove is like this. Sorry, friends, but I have to try to light the stove and see how it works because I want to spend the night here. Not now, of course, but in general, there's one improvised bunk like this, and a second one. Firewood. Well, a bit of trash, but I think the people who come here, when they see this, they don't really worry about it. This is the hut. What year are the newspapers from? Let's read. It's unclear. The newspapers are from 23. Someone was here in 23. Let's see. October. Well, they were probably here in the winter already. Look, friends. What a candlestick. Have you seen that? Newspapers. Look at this monster. This, my friends, and also Grandpa's hut. Grandpa's hut. This is the hut, of course. Oh ho ho. Look at that. What's with the chimney? Should we light it up? Let's try. Let's take this newspaper. It's not convenient now. I'll put it on first, then show you. Damn, it's all the way through here. Damn, no, it's impossible, guys. No, look, it's all the way through now. Look, it's all the way through. And everything there is burned through. Basically, we need to bring a stove here and everything will be great with the hut. For now, let's close it up. No, I'm not gonna drink this. Guys, I'm not gonna wait for it to melt. So that's how it is. People come here. Strong people, because living in places like this, in these conditions, takes strength. There are no artifacts here. Nothing interesting. Just a shovel, firewood, logs, no shelves, nothing. Oh, there is a shelf. Look, but there's nothing on it. No writing, nothing, no magazines, nothing. So these are the newspapers. What's this? Rossijska Gazeta, also from the 23rd. They did all this on October 23rd. This is the hut. How can you just leave or throw a pack like that? Donskoy tabak. It's just unreal. Look, what else do we have there? Oil, some kind of... things like that. There's a tube of some kind of green stuff, a kettle, and so on. The roof will last a bit longer, but we still need a stove. Friends, look, here's a chain like this. Look, a chain like this, wow. 2 of these chains are already on the verge. Wash basins. The most important thing, the main attribute of this hut is the paddle. Oh, I fell into some kind of hole. Here's a paddle like this. There's even some kind of antenna. But this is a typical hut. Recently, I was in another hut. It's more, maybe it's newer or better built. And this is just a horror. Let's take a look from this side, from this angle. So yeah, here are 8 logs. They didn't bother much, just threw them together quickly, took some metal from here, and that's it. This was done 300 years ago. Well, not 300, but 50. Definitely 50. Here's a little hut trap like this. Whoa! A little hut trap like this. The capercaillie lives here, unfazed by anything. The hut is full of holes anyway, so... Well, my friends, we visited the hut, sat down, had lunch, ate, drank some delicious tea, and had some lard with bread. Friends, I told you a story. Follow the link to watch the trailer, the movies, and a behind-the-scenes film. In general, yeah, immerse yourself in this story. It's interesting, I recommend it, I really want you to check it out. So, friends, well, our cabin is great. I found the cabin, I enjoyed it. And here there are all sorts of things like this, just in the form of a little pot like this. Someone just has a little pot like this. Enough for 1 cup. Peli coffee. People my age still know what that is. There, so that's how it is. Don't like, don't subscribe, take care of your health and a little bit more. Watch trailers and movies at the link in the description. Enjoy nature. Fun will show you many more videos. That's it, let's go. I won't show you the way back because there's nothing interesting. We've done everything, seen everything, I've shown you everything, and that's it. They say the capercaillie is sitting there. Goodbye, hut. Man, it's awesome. I'd spend the night in it. You know, it's kind of on the edge, like it's already falling apart, but it can still warm you up, heat you. It can still give you warmth. It can still give you shelter.